This week you can win an SSG Dragonfire in the minimal wear condition. To enter like every week, like, comment and subscribe, and link to the posting on my Discord server, link below. Thanks! Ah yeah, and it's low float by the way. When you are a newcomer to CS skin trading, there are a lot of traps you can easily fall into. API scams and other fraud, mixing up Steam value with cash value, liquidity, or just the hundreds of different websites that give you different prices and different sources. Plus special features that items might have that might increase the value of it. Especially the last one can be very tricky and dangerous if you are an unexperienced trader or trust the wrong source. And finding a reasonable price is not easy for many items. But luckily, every cash market nowadays gives you some sort of recommendation. But how good and trustable are those? Let's just test that. I will select random items from my inventory and try to give them a reasonable price. Then we visit different marketplaces and check how good their recommendation is and also how good they give us more information that prevents us from selling our items for a very bad price or maybe miss something like a rare sticker. So let's do that after this message of my sponsor. This video is sponsored by Cs.Money.com. Cs.Money is an automated CSGO bot trading site. They offer a huge amount of skins to instantly trade to, 24/7 live chat support, and a 35% bonus on every cash deposit. With our referral code NEON, you can get a free up to $5 bonus on your first trade when exchanging items worth at least $100. So like you can see here, I've calculated a little bit and found this cool deal on Cs.Money. I also used my $5 bonus. I just selected these 5 items out of my inventory for these 2 gut knife safari meshes field testing. I even got some leftover balance on the side, which I can use for my next trade. The 2 gut knives were on trade logs, so I just saved them onto the side, but some days later I could just withdraw them to my Steam, and as you can see here, I've got a really good upgrade and with my bonus code also a really good deal. So check out Cs.Money right now. Link to the site with my bonus code is in the description. So we will take 3 different random items out of 3 item categories. First, very liquid skins, where both the market and on the internet there's a lot of data on prices and similar, so they should be pretty easy to price. Second, quite the opposite, hella unliquid items. Those items have few sales, so it's kinda hard to guess a reasonable price. And lastly, special items, so low floats, sticker crafts and special patterns. Let's see if those websites give us a hint that this is a special item, which is both good for the seller and the buyer because they can find it more easily. Before we start, let's introduce our rating. We will rate the marketplaces under 4 points. First, how reasonable is the recommended price? As prices differ from market to market, we will of course not give a bad rating just because a price is off our estimate. But we will look at the data from the marketplace itself and determine if the recommended price is something that will result in the item sells within a reasonable amount of time and the seller is not missing out on a lot of value. Second, how good does the market handle unliquid items? Third, same as number 2, but with special items. Not necessarily if they give us a precise price, for example for our sticker craft, but if they just tell us, yo, be careful, this is a special item, maybe you should take a second look at the price. And last, just a combined how easy, transparent and foolproof the whole pricing process is. After that, we will also check what would have happened to an unexperienced trader that just have trusted those values blindly. So let's do that, but before we start, please be careful guys, this is just my opinion in many points. Of course, the prices are actual facts, but my rating, for example, is just my opinion giving those facts and examples. Also, those values highly fluctuate between items, but I think it's giving kind of an image of how good or some bad marketplaces are in this regard. Also, this regard doesn't make a marketplace unusable. Just be careful when you use those and always double check prices with reliable and multiple sources. So, let's go! I have 50 skins here and we will choose 3 different skins. Number 50, that's convenient. 1 low tier, 1 mid tier, preferable like a weapon skin, and 1 high tier, gloves or knives. We start with a sticker. This is our low tier item. Let's choose 24, that's really mid tier. Yeah, this is a really good liquid item, M4 golden koi. And let's choose a high tier item, give me something low. Number 5, easy as that. M9 Bane and Blue Steel field tested. Really cool free items. Let's price those and then we can continue. Here we have the unliquid items, Kato 2014 sticker, Kato 2015 sticker, and a Ducking Operation skin. So I think really representative. We have special items and I already chosen those two. Not because I am choosing anything specific to make anybody look worse or better. Just because those are the items I had and I think they represent the category the best. This is like a low flow glove. This is a mid-tier pattern blue butterfly. It's not a tier 1 or 2, so I doubt that any website will recognize it, but we'll see. And a Ducking Kato 2014 sticker craft. So we have priced all our items and we're going to fill in the recommended prices that those markets will give us. It will be 11 markets, so I have a long way to go now. I will not use the special prices because most markets won't really give Ducking price recommendation there. So I will not compare that to the price we just looked up. But I will notice if they give like a notice, for example, Dmarket here gives a little diamond here to tell me, yeah, this is special, be careful. And yeah, we'll see how many of these markets do that. And if they give a special price for a special item like my gloves, for example, we will see how precise that is. But yeah, the most important thing is that the site tells you, yo, this is a low float, this is an expensive sticker, be ducking careful. So yeah, I would say let's start. And if we have done that, we will give them a rating out of 10 and then see who on average is the best. A little disclaimer here, no matter how good this rating will be, please always double check your prices with a reliable source. And yeah. So here we are on Mr. Dmarket. And we'll start with our liquid items. So the M9, the Ducking M4 and the Astralis Holo. And we'll just go, yeah, we want to sell those. And most prices we give you an infolen, so a recommended price here. And we'll just see how far this is off from the realistic value. The recommended price for the M9 Blue Steel is $536, which if we translate that to Ducking euros, is Ducking 490 euros, which is 22% cheaper than the market price at the moment. Which is quite odd that this is so low, because Dmarket is a really big marketplace. This is a really liquid item, and Dmarket has many sales of this item, so they have enough data to prevent stuff like this from happening. The M4 is a little bit too cheap. This is like 5% too cheap. And the sticker is €2.30, which is also kind of off. Okay, let's Ducking see. It's €2.22. And this would also be Ducking 15% cheaper than the market price. And with the M4, we are at 5% cheaper than market price. Which is strange, because if we now take cheapest, which is I think the most reasonable way to sell an item, yeah, suddenly we have 150 euros more here. And also the other prices are more precise. I mean, it should never be on a marketplace that the recommended price is so far from the cheapest, because typically with the cheapest price with a liquid item, you can sell it for that price. I would say in this regard, I mean, the experiments of listing items here is kind of handy, and they give you a lot of... What? Why is the recent average, which would be like actual sales, I guess? Why is this so... Why is this... What? Ah, they don't have a reason. Not enough data. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, we just go with those prices, I guess. But looking at those prices, these are far off, and Dmarket can definitely do better. They have enough data to do that, or just take other reference prices. So the M4 is the only one that is kind of realistic, which is, yeah, I mean, it's not too far off from the cheapest listing, at least. It's a little bit off from our determined price, but as it's not too far off from the cheapest listing, I would say this is still reasonable. But looking at the other items, I would only give Dmarket, I would say a 3 out of 10, I would say. Because, come on, 22% off market price is a really bad recommended price. You can definitely do better there. Let's continue with our unliquid items. Okay, I had to replace the USB because the idiot I am, I realized it is tradable but not visible. So, yeah. I replaced it with this, a Ducking Stat Trek Factory New Kraken, which is also comparable unliquid and yeah, also in the comparable price range. So, our free unliquid items are those three. So let's see if there is a recommended price, and if there is, how precise is it? Let's see recommended, and we see right here it only sell, for the Ducking Clan Mystic, Dmarket doesn't give a price, which is reasonable because if you have not enough data, please don't give a price estimate. That could only be bad. The recommended price, so yeah, we have 0 here, so that's not bad. It's just, there's no price. Let's take those. And yeah, looking at the other prices, the Kraken is around 10% off. The TSM is 3% off, which I would call is a good price. 3% is right on. That's nothing bad. Yeah, the lowest here is far off. So I would call 10% off not good, but definitely not a bad guess from Mr. Dmarket here. And also that they don't give a price here is just reasonable and a good thing in my opinion. Let's end with our last 3 items. The good blue butterfly, the low float gloves and the Ducking M4. Let's see if they give any special recommendation. We see here's a little diamond, here's a little diamond. So they give 2 out of 3 notices that those are special items. Let's see if we want to sell those for a recommended price, if those are anything special. Let's compare. And looking at those, I doubt that these are, especially the M4, no. They don't give any recommended price for the Ducking pattern, float or anything. So yeah, but still they give a notice here, which is really handy. So I would say price special. I would also give them an 8 out of 10. They kinda do that pretty good. Let's look at our last one, easy and fair. How foolproof is this pricing process? I think it could be better looking at all of these values. It's really good that they give a lot of values, but if they give you all of these values, then please look that those are right. It cannot be, in my opinion, that the recent average and the recommended price is so much apart from the actual one. Let's take our, looking at our M9 here. There will definitely be items where it's better, but I think something like this should not happen. And like from the video I uploaded 3 weeks ago, I know that this is kind of common on Dmarket, that the recommended prices can be off. So I think Dmarket can definitely improve there. But overall, if you watch out a little bit, you can get kind of good recommended prices there. And also for the special and unliquid items, they do that pretty good. Let's see how the other markets compare to that. Next up, we are on Gamerpay. Gamerpay is pretty handy because they always display the listening buff price, which is nowadays typically higher than the Ducking actually selling price on Western marketplaces. They give 97% here as their default value, and I also would say, as they still say average price, I would say we go with that. I think that's reasonable, and you can also follow buff here, which is kinda handy. Let's see how those compare. So, just comparing the prices to Dmarket, please ignore the Ducking colors until this list is done. Those are kinda weird. Yeah, looking at the colors, we can actually see this Gamerpay is way closer to the actual selling price because they're using buff prices. They're sometimes even way too high. And yeah, I think it just shows that buff is still a really reliable way to price your items. And this is why Gamerpay offers a really handy method there. I think it would also be cool if they show lowest price here next to it. So it's like easier for everybody to price. Because for example, if I list my items here, on Gamerpay there's a good chance that there are many listed for a little bit less. So yeah, I think adding something like cheapest listing here would be pretty good. Also, Gamerpay does not give me any notification that my float is something special, which I also think could be improved because something like a cut-to sticker is kinda easy to filter out, and like give a little notification here, for example, or here saying, careful, special sticker. So, I have gone through all the markets, and yeah, these are all the values, the recommended values the markets give you when you want to sell those items. And yeah, this is also the points I gave them in general. Some might be confusing. For example, Skinbaron here, I say, 7 points foolproof, even though the prices here are way off. But this is, for example, because Skinbaron at least tells you, our recommended price is an estimate going on Steam prices. So they kind of tell you, be careful, this might be off. Also be aware that this is just my personal opinion, and if a market has, let's say, more than Ducking 24 points, he's most likely better than average when it comes to those prices. Also, I only checked 9 items, guys. if you put your items in there, it might be way better or way worse depending on the market. The most important thing is, no matter where you sell, please check your prices before you sell on any market. But yeah, this is just when you are unexperienced and just sell on these markets, this is most likely the experience that you will have. And it also shows that the markets that go off buff prices, for example, are in most cases really precise. And you can also see, for example, Bitskins, which only offers Steam prices. I didn't knew that. At least for me, it only offers Steam prices by default. Yeah, it can be way harder. And I think there are many items on Bitskins listed for those prices that will most likely never sell because those are Steam prices and are like 35% higher on average. Yeah, if we sold our items for the recommended prices, this is how much we would end up with. Of course, I excluded something like those. And yeah, this will most likely not sell, so we can most likely also exclude those. But yeah, you can just take the average percentage and see it for yourself. For example, on Dmarket, which is mostly due to the recommended price being too low, we would lose 150 euros, which is a lot of money. Same with Skinport, for example. And this is easy fixable, they both have a lot of data, just give us your lowest price listening by default, for example, and it should be way easier, or at least give more information about what the recommended price means. And what this video also showed me is that we can be kind of proud of how our marketplaces have developed. Because on most marketplaces, you get a fair price by default. I mean, just look at those prices. Those are on average really precise to what I price those items to. And like I said, something like recommending my butterfly as good blue would be really hard to do. So I don't require that. Would just be some nice to haves. But yeah, on average, I think we can be pretty proud of all those marketplaces doing good work to giving recommended prices, giving unexperienced people a good way to sell their items. And yeah, I think this sums up the video pretty good. What do you think about that? Which market should improve in which way? Don't forget to join the Gamerpay boys. I am Neon, and see you guys in the next one.